bunch of roosters. God has a sense of humor. He really does. Because I took, I think, 4 or 5 roosters out to the country yesterday. And I get back here and I find 3 more. That's a rooster. That's a rooster. Those 2 are definitely roosters. One of them came from the country. He was beating up Mr. Nat's pants. Now he's getting his butt whipped. And there's one out there. Right there. You see the little red cone? You see that red cone? That's a rooster. Anyway, today is about cleaning up. I told you guys that God had a sense of humor, right? He surely does. Because roosters, I keep only a couple of them. I don't keep a lot. Yesterday, when I was out in the country, one tried to get me. Not in a good way either. Lucky he has a pretty face, but next time he does it, he's on the chopping block. Definitely. I don't need no mean roosters. I need them to have good temperaments and them to look good. Now this one right here, he's not bad, but he's making a lot of noise. He's just about big enough for me to color him. So I have 2 of them in there. One I bring in from the country, and of course him, who was making a bunch of noise. And then I found, I think, 2 or 3 more. Now with bar rocks, they're easy to tell because their tails are not well defined. They'll have like an extra big feather hanging out. Let me show you. I should say most of the time. See that one right there? This one? Look at his butt. See those long tails? See those long tail feathers? Now this is why he gotta go. You hear that? That's how a hen looks. So that's a rooster. That's one. Looking around. This one is raggedy, but I think that's a female. I saw a couple more in here. Let me get him. So I have my trusty USB light. These things, they stopped making them. And the ones that replaced them are junk. These are the good ones, and I can't find them on Amazon anymore. I'm really upset about it. But this is my light. It's a good thing I think I have about 6 of them. So I'm gonna try to hold on to them, but I'm upset about that. Let me move this over here. And there's my light. Blinded by the light. So people try to, I'm not gonna say people try. Some think that deep bedding is hard. It's not. All you're doing is piling it up, and you don't just do it for poultry. You do that for any animal. When I worked on a sheep/goat farm, we had deep bedding, and at the end of the summer, we raked it down and we put it in a pasture, and it did what it did out there because I was gone after that. But deep bedding is a process that farmers use. It keeps the place warm. It's like insulation. It's like putting carpet on a cold floor. So that's what we're going to try to do, because most of the time from the earth, the roof gives off some cold or heat, but the ground, you ever walked on a cold floor? It's not very comfortable. You don't want your chickens walking on that, or any of your animals. So I have some pine shavings right here. It's the tools of the trade, and I'm just gonna spread it out along here so that they can be comfortable and they won't have wet feet. I did this also out in the country. I did not want them walking around on the ground. Moisture is how you get more disease. You can get diseases from other things, but moisture is the number one. So you want to get rid of that as quickly as possible. So all I'm doing is taking some pine shavings, I'm gonna spread them out, cover up all of the poo. You don't take any of it out, you keep it here. And it composts itself. And your chickens aren't walking or smelling. The pine shavings cut down on the smell. So all I'm doing is putting pine shavings down. And it doesn't take long. Just covering the bed. Changing the color from this brownish to this light beige color. so that they can sleep comfortably. Now, if they knock it around, so be it. But I'm giving them a clean space and installation at the same time. What am I? This thing's hitting me in the head. And the chickens, they like it. All animals like it. When we were bringing lambs in, when we were bringing sheep into lamb, we would bring them into the barn and put some fresh hay out. We didn't use pine shaving, we used hay, but it's the same principle. So, you hurry up and finish. And you're gonna see, after I finish, they're gonna come in here and inspect. They always do. They always come in. I'm just covering up anything. I'm covering the whole floor. Everything. The pine shavings is gonna sop up any moisture. And then you wanna go into their laying boxes. You wanna put some in there. The hens will spray it out. You don't have to be that particular in these boxes. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go and get some totes and I'm gonna put some boxes along the end because they've been fighting over this particular box right here. This one is falling apart. I'm not gonna buy them anymore. The totes are like $9 and I think these boxes are more than that. So I'm just gonna get some totes and cut some doors and then put them on the floor. I may get rid of this also. I haven't decided yet. Okay, I'm gonna go way out. That turkey's got him very vocal. Now initially I was leaving these pine shavings in here, but the chickens started laying their eggs in here and I didn't like it. So I'm gonna stop doing that. Now I'm not gonna put these shavings too close to the door because they've been kicking them out and wasting my money. But I'm gonna do it about to this point. I'm gonna give them enough to where all of them are comfortable when they come in here tonight or today. What do you want, girl? Already a nosy bystander. You hear her? She's already looking in like, what are you doing? Get out of my house. I'm the landlord here. I am the landlord. But she's a tenant that don't pay no rent. More like a squatter. That's what you are. A squatter. I don't even think that ever, excuse me. I don't think she laying no eggs. She just nosy and mean. She might be the one who's eating my eggs. What you coming in here for? Oh, the joker. Shut up, you. She's getting closer and closer. As if to say, get out of my house. Now, let me get the top of this thing because the birds have been sleeping on the bottom. And if the other ones that are sleeping on top will probably be pooping on the ones that are on the bottom. So let me get that thing and I'll be right back. Okay, I got the lid. And all this is a dog cage, and this is the bottom of the dog cage. I got off as much of the debris as I possibly could. And all I do is put the bottom on the top. So that when they sleep, because they sleep up here, they sleep here, they sleep on the bottom, they sleep on top of this, they sleep here, here, and up here. So, let me put some more shavings on top. You notice she went away, when I went away, she didn't want me in here. She'll probably come back in a minute if I stay in here too long. Here come the Wyandottes. The lazy Wyandottes. They lay eggs all over the ground, everywhere. In the yard. Maybe when I get the totes, they'll stop doing it. Y'all don't ever use this place, so what you looking around for? What's going on in here? Are you making some noise? Wyandottes are pretty, but they aren't that friendly. I mean, they don't attack you or anything. They just don't want to be bothered with nobody except each other. Right, girl? She see me coming closer, so she run off. Now I know, sweetie. I'm just in here trying to clean up for you guys. Can I do that? It ain't one hand, it's another. Alright, I'm done. Y'all come in. No, we want you to leave. We just want you out of our house. Let's see how many of them nosy jokers come in here after I move. They might surprise me, but they never do. They really nosy. First one, dum-dum. You see her? That's one. Coming in to find out what new furniture I done moved in. I see her wind up behind the bag. Oh, she want that bag so she can lay an egg in it. Let me get this bag out of here. You see that hidden behind the bag? That's a Wanda. That's a Wanda. She probably said, oh, that's the perfect spot. That's where I could lay. It's real and fluffy over there. She won't lay. They're laying in everything except what I wanted. It's probably her. Probably her who's laying on the ground in the bag. She might be the one to pet me. Oh, shut up, you. All right. So we got that done. So let's go and talk. Well, all is well in the Fluffy Butt Hut as well as out in the woods. The ones in the woods are doing just fine. I didn't have any casualties. They're healthy. I think they might. No, they're just as healthy as these guys out here. I do have a few birds that, the bantams, they're not doing well. I left them outside and they got sick. They started sneezing and doing, oh God, them bantams are so fragile. So I got them in quarantine. That's why that rooster's in there. Actually, the two of them going to be in there soon. But deep bedding. And this is a blanket I was putting over the small coop for the bantams. It didn't work. They still got sick. So even if you have a wool blanket, it cuts down on some of the cold. But with some animals, if their immune system is compromised or if their immune system is weak, so the bantams got sick along with the turkeys. If their immune system is weak, well, they're gonna get sick on you and they might pass away. That's just a part of owning animals. You got to deal with losses. Sometimes I'm like, I try to fight with them and say, hey, just drink some of this, some of that. And sometimes no matter what you do, if the animal is that sick, there's really nothing you can do. I lost 2 turkeys and 1 bantam from that one. And it stemmed from them being sick when they were chicks. Just like if a child is sick when it gets sick when it's really young, it affects the human being their entire lives most of the time. Their system is always going to be slightly weaker and they always have to be extra careful. Same thing with all animals. So when they got that fowl pox, I think that knocked their immune system down quite a bit. And, giving them the antibiotics, the garlic / honey / oregano water, it kept them alive for a while, but they couldn't stay outside in the cold. And I thought that, just putting the wool blanket out there and putting that little coop out there would help. It didn't. So they're in quarantine again, and one of them doesn't look very good. Her eyes are all swollen up. One of them, her eyes were swollen. It went down. So I'm back on the garlic, honey, and oregano. Mostly garlic and honey, because they drink that a lot. They drink that well because they like the sweet. But the deep bedding helps with the insulation. So Rule number one, your coop should not smell. That's the number one rule. If you have an ammonia smell or a poopy smell or whatever smell, it's not supposed to smell. So if you smell something, either some people just say take it all out, and sometimes I do that. I just scoop it all out, throw some diatomaceous earth on the ground, let that dry, and then I redo the bedding. But don't let it get to that point. And they're saying, some people say that when you do the deep litter method, it's gonna smell. Well, if I get the slightest scent that something is going on there, because if there's a smell, it means it's damp in there, and you don't want that, especially if it's ammonia. They have to breathe that. They stay in there all night. How would you like, you mean your system couldn't take breathing in ammonia? It's not healthy. It's poison, actually. So I put the diatomaceous, that earth down, and if that doesn't help, I clean that whole thing out and start it all over again. I don't care what other people say. I know if it smells like ammonia, it's not good for the animals, and that I need to start over, and that's what I do. Even that bag is only gonna cost me maybe $6 versus me a chicken, or God forbid a turkey that I've been feeding for months and months, passing away. They're worth way more than that. So they're over there. They're always talking. Always talking. So deep bedding. Deep bedding is to provide insulation and to keep down the moisture in, somebody's laying an egg, to keep down the moisture, or they're fighting over the box, to keep down the moisture in your coop. If you accumulate too much moisture and it starts to smell like ammonia, or anything else for that matter that you cannot control with diatomaceous earth, some people say use lime, take it all out. Take it all out and start over. Just my opinion. You ain't gotta listen to me. You know I always say that, right? This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. The garden is still doing well. I'll give you an update on that. I think I'm gonna go and plant some mustards because they ate all of my broccoli, and they ate all of my extra cauliflower that I put out. Those 2 rows, they're gone. They left the cabbage and the Napa cabbage and the green acre cabbage. They didn't want that. They ate all of the other stuff. The other 2 rows are gone. You can't even tell they were there, with the exception of a little stem sticking up every now and then. Rabbits got me. So we'll do that on another video. This is Jamerica with Jamerica Life. I thank you guys for being with me. Please remember, take care of your animals. Try the deep bedding method. But if that coop starts to smell like ammonia, especially ammonia, start over. It's not worth it. Bye, y'all.